Saraswatim Tato Jayam Udiraye Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatam Loke Bhaktir Bhavati Neshtiki Oma Gyana Timarandasya Gyananjana Shanakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Caitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vetam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padat Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sutiti Pranamami Hari Priya Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhadevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda
Shri Advaita Shri
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare. So let's continue to hear from Srimad Bhagavatam. We are going to read today from Canto 3, chapter 30, text 45. So the sages of the higher planetary systems, Janalok, Tapalok, Satyalok, are continuing their glorification in their prayers to Lord Varahadev. Savai Bata Brahashtamatistva Tavaishate Yakarmanam Param Apara Karmanaha Yad Yogamaya Gunayogamohitam Vishwam Samastam Bhagavan Videhisham. O Lord, there is no limit to your wonderful activities. Anyone who desires to know the limit of your activities is certainly nonsensical. Everyone in this world is conditioned by the powerful mystic potencies. Please bestow your causeless mercy upon these conditioned souls. Mental speculators who want to understand the limit of the unlimited are certainly nonsensical. So what the sages are saying, that if we are trying to understand the Supreme Lord, putting him in our box, our limited box of our limited mind, we think our mind is unlimited because we can have so many thoughts, so many desires, but it is still material. You know, Krishna is unlimited. Krishna's activities are unlimited. So we cannot say that, oh, I understand Krishna fully. I know Krishna fully. No, we cannot know him fully. Only to what degree he reveals himself to us. Everyone of them is captivated by the external potencies of the Lord. The best thing for them is to surrender unto him, knowing him to be the inconceivable, for thus they can receive his causeless mercy. So the best thing for us, instead of trying with our mind, the best thing is to surrender unto Krishna. That is what even the pious people living on the higher planets are saying. And why surrender to Krishna? Then we can receive his mercy. This prayer was offered by the inhabitants of the higher planetary systems, namely Jana, Tapo, and Satyalok, who are far more intelligent and powerful than humans. So this is an advice that a more intelligent person is giving. So it is in our own self-interest to accept their advice. We might say, no, why shall I accept? Who are they to tell me? But but just by understanding, oh, they are more intelligent than me. Let me try to take the advice. Here, we also, when we are in a situation we don't know what to do, then we approach someone we think who has a better idea than us, a better qualification than us. Then we'll discuss with them, oh, what should I do? So this, they're telling us for our self-interest. Nothing to, they're not going to gain anything. They're saying for our self-interest. Vishwam Samastam is very significant here. There are the material world and spiritual world. The sages pray, both worlds are bewildered by your different energies. So the material world and spiritual world. Now, how both worlds are bewildered by your different energies? How come there's bewilderment in spiritual world? We thought only in material world we are bewildered by Maya. So let's read on. Those who are in the spiritual world are absorbed in your loving service, forgetting themselves and you also. And those in the material world are absorbed in material sense gratification and therefore also forget you. So what is it in here in the material world? We have forgotten that we are the eternal loving servants of Krishna and we think we are the body. That is our bewilderment. That's why we act as if we are the body. We think we are the body. We do everything in the body. And in the spiritual world, it is the Yoga Maya potency. Yoga Maya potency, she covers Krishna. That because of the Yoga Maya potency, there's loving relationships as father and son with Krishna, as friends, as lovers, So then Krishna forgets that he is God. That's the Yoga Maya potency. And then the devotees also, they forget he's God and they look at him only as the object of love. No one can know you because you are unlimited. So imagine here, we are trying to convince ourselves and everyone others around us that we are God. And what does God want to do? He wants to forget he's God. He wants to have a loving relationship. In Vaikuntha, he is, yes, God. Everybody is worshipping him with awe and reverence. So, he's worshipped as the Supreme Lord. But in Golok Vrindavan, he wants to forget that he's the Lord. When Yashoda Mai starts thinking, oh, my son looks like he's the Lord. He has all these universes in his mouth. Oh, I think, he's somebody great. Then Krishna immediately makes her forget that because he does not want her love in any way to be tinged with any kind of awe and reverence. He does not want her to think, oh, that her son is the Supreme Lord. He wants to just feel her love and her loving reciprocation. And we say, no, I am great and I want to try to be great and I'm going to convince everyone else that I'm great. And the great is trying to forget that. Then no one can know you because you are unlimited. It is best not to try to know you by unnecessary mental speculation. Rather, kindly bless us so that we can worship you with causeless devotional service. So the only way we can understand Krishna is by bhakti. So many people argue, oh, why God like this? Why God like that? The first thing we should tell them, please chant. Because by chanting, they are engaging in Krishna's service. Automatically, then the knowledge will be revealed. Automatically. Many people, I don't know if you'll have the experience, they will try to argue about Krishna and his position, but because they've not had the opportunity to hear properly from the devotees. So the best thing we can tell them is, please chant Hare Krishna. One time also they said, chant Hare Krishna, the devotional service begins. Anyone wanted to share anything or comment? If no, then we continue. Maitriya Vacha iti upasthiyamano aso munibir brahma vadibihi salile sva kurakranta upadha ta vittavanim. The sage Maitreya said, the Lord, being thus worshipped by all the great sages and transcendentalists, touched the earth with his hooves and placed it on the water. The earth was placed on the water by his inconceivable potency. The Lord is all-powerful, and therefore he can sustain the huge planets either on the water or in the air as he likes. The tiny human brain cannot conceive how these potencies of the Lord can act. Man can give some vague explanation of the laws by which such phenomena are made possible, but actually the tiny human brain is unable to conceive of the activities of the Lord, which are therefore called inconceivable. Yet the frog philosophers still try to give some imaginary explanation. So the Lord can do anything. He can do anything. We cannot put a limit to his activities. Oh, because how can that be? According to my experience, how is it possible? It's not possible. I've never seen it. I've never heard it. But Krishna can do it. His activities are inconceivable. He is inconceivable. So, text 47, Sa itam bhagwan urmim vishwakshena prajapatihi rasaya lila yoni tam apsu nyasya yayo harihi. In this manner, the personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, the maintainer of all living entities, raised the earth from within the water, and having placed it afloat on the water, he returned to his own abode. The personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, descends by his will to the material planets in his innumerable incarnations for particular purposes, and again he goes back to his own abode. When he descends, he's called an avatar because avatar means one who descends. Neither the Lord himself nor his specific devotees who come to this earth are ordinary living entities like us. So Krishna is not like us. His incarnations are not like us. We cannot just say, oh, right now, let me take the form of a hog and then I will become so big and then I'm going to pick up this mountain. We cannot do that. Krishna can do that. And his body is transcendental. And his specific devotees, it's mentioned here, specific devotees who come to this earth, they are not ordinary. Krishna keeps sending his empowered devotees also time and again. They're also not ordinary living entities. Now, everybody might say, I am that person. I might say, oh, yes, I am the one who's chosen. I'm empowered by Krishna. I'm the Shaktavesh avatar. No, the information is given in the scriptures. Who's going to come, when, where, what is his activity going to be doing? What is he going to be doing? So that we don't cheat the innocent people and we don't get cheated by others. Yeah, so that's it.
So you mean the specific devotees also is mentioned?
Yeah, like the Shaktavesh avatar. The Shaktavesh avatars are mentioned. We have so many Shaktavesh avatar, like Vyasadeva is supposed to be a Shaktavesh avatar. Srila Vyasadeva is an empowered personality. And King Prithu is a Shaktavesh avatar of the Lord. These are living entities who are specifically empowered by the Lord. And they are mentioned in the scriptures of what their activities are going to be doing, what their activities will be, what they're going to do.
Like Buddha, and even Buddha is mentioned, right?
Yeah, so Lord Buddha, I'm not sure if he's a Shaktavesh avatar or he's, because there's so many different categories. Like, I'm not sure if he's a living entity who is empowered by Krishna or he's Vishnu Tattva himself.
Because in the 24 avatars, Buddha is mentioned, no? Lord Buddha.
Yeah. Lord Buddha is an incarnation of Krishna. Yes. Even in the Dasa avatar, Lord Buddha is an incarnation. I don't think he's a Shaktavesh avatar, but Shaktavesh avatar means a living entity, means a jiva who is empowered by Krishna to come. But yeah. So, but I think he's a direct incarnation of Lord Krishna. Yeah. He's like that's what I think. So I'm not too sure. But we can, I can look into it if you like. Yes, he is an incarnation of the Lord. Yes.
So even Vedvyas Muni also was an incarnation, no? The Lord.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
He's a Shakti-Avesh avatar.
Shakti.
Yeah. Vyasadeva. Yes. So, and all these great personalities, they are mentioned in the scriptures.
Yeah. Right. The four Kumaras and
yeah, that's right. 4 Kumaras. That's right. Yes. So that we don't get cheated by others, and we don't cheat others also. We might start thinking one day that, oh yes, I'm an incarnation of the Lord. No. I'm not mentioned in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. So for that reason. So that reading on, ya evam etam hari medaso hare katham subhadram kathaniyamayenah shinvita bhaktya shravayeta voshatim janardano asya shu hridi prasidati. If one hears and describes in a devotional service attitude this auspicious narration of Lord Bore, which is worthy of description, the Lord who is within the heart of everyone is very pleased. So nice. There's a nice benediction here. How to please the Lord. If one hears and describes in a devotional service attitude this auspicious narration of Lord Bore, which is worthy of description, the Lord who is within the heart of everyone is very pleased. So just by hearing, imagine, so easy to please the Lord. We just hear his pastimes. If someone has to please us, we are very demanding. We want this and we want that. And we think, no, I'm not demanding, the other person is. Oh, and I have to do so much to please him, and yet he or she doesn't get pleased. So we are like that. But look at the Lord. He's so easy to be pleased just by hearing of his activities. In his various incarnations, the Lord appears, acts, and leaves behind him a narrative history which is as transcendental as he himself. So the pastime of the Lord is also transcendental. That is Krishna himself. By hearing his pastime, we are associating with Krishna. Every one of us is fond of hearing some wonderful narration, but most stories are neither auspicious nor worth hearing because they are of the inferior quality of material nature. We all like to hear stories. That's why we like to see movies, or this story, this happened, that happened, or read some books, or this happened and that happened, because we like to hear. But those stories are not gonna purify us in any way. The only stories that are going to purify us are which are related to the Supreme Lord, to Krishna, to his pure devotees. Every living entity is of superior quality, spirit, soul, and nothing material can be auspicious for him. Intelligent persons should therefore hear personally and cause others to hear the descriptive narrations of the Lord's activities, for that will destroy the pangs of material existence. So we should hear, and if someone is willing to hear, we should also speak it to them. We hear personally and cause others to hear. And then what will happen? It will destroy the pangs of material existence. We are all suffering here, it's like a blazing forest fire. So that it will help to extinguish that. Out of his causeless mercy only, the Lord comes to this earth and leaves behind his merciful activities so that the devotees may derive transcendental benefit. So Krishna is so kind. He's so compassionate. He does not need to come. He didn't need to come in the form of Lord Bore to take out the earth from the water, Simply by willing, he could have just willed. He's sitting in Golok Vrindavan and he could have willed, okay, the earth is in the water. Let me just will it and put it back in its place. He could have done that, but he doesn't do that. He comes for our benefit. So we have something to speak about, and we can become purified by hearing about him. So compassionate he is. So we should try to understand this compassionate nature of Krishna. He has so many different qualities. He has unlimited qualities. And 64 of his qualities are mentioned by Srila Rupa Goswami in the book Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which Srila Prabhupada translated as Nectar of Devotion. Tasmin prasene sakala shisham prabho kim durlabam tabir alam lavatma bihi ananya drishtya bhajatam guhashayaha swayam vidate swagatim para param. Nothing remains unachieved when the Supreme Personality of Godhead is pleased with someone. By transcendental achievement, one understands everything else to be insignificant. One who engages in transcendental loving service is elevated to the highest perfectional stage by the Lord himself, who is seated in everyone's heart. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 10.10, the Lord gives intelligence to the pure devotees so that they may be elevated to the highest perfectional stage. So what's going to happen? We want to know more and more about Krishna. He is there. He is there in our heart. He's the one who's guiding us. He's guiding us. He wants us to come. He's more eager to see us than we are eager to see him. He's very eager to see us. So he's making all the arrangements for us so we can come back quickly to him. It is confirmed herein that a pure devotee who constantly engages in the loving service of the Lord is awarded all knowledge necessary to reach the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For such a devotee, there is nothing valuable to be achieved but the Lord's service. Oh, why only I have to serve the Lord? Why shouldn't I serve my own self? Everyone should serve me. That's what we are trying to do in this material world. Everyone should serve me. I'm the greatest. But then what are we seeing? Are we happy in that? No. And can we stop serving anyone? No, we can't. We still serve. We serve our parents, our family, our children, our bosses, our friends. The service attitude can never be stopped. Or we serve our minds and our senses. We cannot stop serving, just as sugar cannot stop being sweet. Salt cannot stop being salty, so we cannot stop serving. We are artificially trying to do that right now. And what's happening? We are becoming unhappy in return. If one serves faithfully, there is no possibility of frustration because the Lord himself takes charge of the devotee's advancement. That's all we have to do. Just become sincere and Krishna will show us the way. The Lord is seated in everyone's heart and he knows the devotee's motive and arranges everything achievable. So Krishna knows our intention. He knows deep down. We might cover it up. We might say something else. No, I'm doing it because of this, or I'm doing it. But Krishna knows what's our intention. And based on that, he makes the arrangement. In other words, the pseudo-devotee who's anxious to achieve material gains cannot attain the highest perfectional stage because the Lord is in knowledge of his motive. One merely has to become sincere in his purpose, and then the Lord is there to help in every way. So do we actually want Krishna? Or is it that we are using Krishna to get something else that we want? Are we using Krishna to get fame? Are we using Krishna to get worship? Are we using Krishna to get adoration? Or do we actually want Krishna? So Krishna knows that. He knows that. And based on what we actually want, he's going to give us. If we want worship, he'll give us worship. He'll make people worship us. If we want fame, he will give us fame. He'll make us famous. But then we're not going to get Krishna. Then what's going to happen? We'll still continue living here in the material world. Then what's the use? We didn't change our heart. So then what's the use then? It's like any other material activity then. So we have to try to change our heart. Change our heart that, no, I should actually want Krishna. It's, I've been wanting all these different things in so many births. And what has it gotten me? I'm still here. I'm still feeling unhappy. I still feel unfulfilled. So let me actually want Krishna now. And Krishna sees that and he makes all the arrangement. He makes arrangement. We are insignificant. We cannot make these arrangements, but Krishna can. He can. And so easy to please him. It's very easy to please Krishna. It's not difficult. We just heard, just by hearing about this pastime of the Lord, he is pleased. We hear it with love and devotion. Huh? What was written? In a devotional service attitude. We just have to hear it in a devotional service attitude. And Krishna is pleased. So easy to please him. We do not have to spend years and years getting university degrees. We do not have to spend years and years, to achieve something which is so difficult for us to achieve. No, it's very easy to please. Anybody wanted to comment or add anything? Well, there is just one more verse for this chapter, but we only have 2 minutes. So we'll still do it tomorrow because I know Sneha will be short of time.
We can do it actually.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, so we'll read it then. Text 50. Ko nama loke purushartha sa ravet pura kathanam bhagavad katha shuddham apya karanan jalibhir bhavapaham aho virajayeta vina naretaram. Who other than one who is not a human being can exist in this world and not be interested in the ultimate goal of life? Who can refuse the nectar of narrations about the personality of Godhead's activities, which by itself can deliver one from all material pangs? Who other than one who is not a human being can exist in this world and not be interested in the ultimate goal of life? Means if we are not interested in the ultimate goal of life, we are not human beings. That's what Bhagavatam is saying. The narration of the activities of the personality of Godhead is like a constant flow of nectar. No one can refuse to drink such nectar except one who is not a human being. So if we are not hearing the pastimes of the Lord, then we are not a human being. Devotional service to the Lord is the highest goal of life for every human being. And such devotional service begins by hearing about the transcendental activities of the personality of Godhead. Only an animal or a man who is almost an animal in behavior can refuse to take an interest in hearing the transcendental message of the Lord. There are many books of stories and histories in the world, but except for the histories or narrations on the topics of the personality of Godhead, none are capable of diminishing the burden of material pangs. So there's so much literature. We go to a bookstore, the whole bookstore is full of books. We go on the internet, there's even more books than we can see physically in a bookstore. So there is so much literature, different genres of literature. There is fiction, there is history, there is, economics. There's so much, whatever is the interest. But none of those can help us, because here in this material world, we are all burning. It's like a forest fire. This material world is like a forest fire, and we are burning in that material forest fire. None of that can help us, give us the relief that we are looking for. Only Krishna Katha. Therefore, one who is serious about eliminating material existence must chant and hear of the transcendental activities of the personality of Godhead. Otherwise, one must be compared to the non-humans. So this is what Bhagavatam is telling us, that if we want to be on the level of a human being, we must chant and hear the glories of the Lord. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 3rd canto, 13th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Appearance of Lord Varaha. So as much as possible, we should try to share the pastimes to others also. Whoever's willing to listen, whoever's willing to listen, should give them the opportunity to hear these wonderful pastimes of the Lord.
Yeah,
So,
throughout the Bhagavatam it says, na, the same thing, yes.
yeah,
Right, that you have
yeah.
spoken.
Hear and chant, hear and chant.
Otherwise, we are not a human being.
Yeah, imagine. Huh? So imagine now, now I feel more grateful to Srila Prabhupada. If he wouldn't have translated this literature, then I wouldn't have been a human being, you know. At least now I'm trying to be one, you know, because I wouldn't have known the stories of Bhagavatam in the correct manner. Huh? Because many people speak on the Bhagavatam, but the mood is not correct, you know. So then one more gratitude for Srila Prabhupada. So, yeah, and we should try to, wherever possible, if we can encourage others to chant, give them some book, tell them some story, then it's good for them, good for us, good for them. So Bhagavatam is very clear. You know, it's not making any compromise. Bhagavatam is not saying, oh, this person is going to feel bad. It's very clear. Why? To help us cut our ignorance, to help us, you know, to show us the right way. You know, people will say, oh, how come Bhagavatam can say like that? How mean? What is this going on? But if we just try to be diplomatic, then we will continue living here in the material world. Imagine if Bhagavatam did not give us this like this. This is the stance, you know, this is the standard. Then we'll say, oh, okay, I don't have to do it. Why should I do it, you know? So this is to really cut out our ignorance. So I thank you all for joining us today morning. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Did anyone else want to come? Did anyone want to comment anything? Sneha, any more comments?
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna,
My
Mataji.
humble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Jai, please accept my humble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
There are a group of people, Mataji. They are educated people. They held good jobs and then they held high positions. They have no financial difficulties much. You know, they have some, but maybe not that much as the average person has. But absolutely no interest in spiritual life. You know, Mataji. Like some people we can invite them to you know just hear about spiritual life, but some people they tell you right upfront, they tell you, you know, Mataji, that they don't want to have anything to do with spiritual life. They tell you to your face actually that they are just absolutely not interested. They're not interested at all. Because I come across people like that, you know, maybe family members also. Then another group says that they don't believe in all this at all. They say all man-made, and then they deride. So I stopped talking to them. You know, I don't talk to them. But sometimes with immediate family members, it's very painful, very challenging, and very hurtful also because they're not interested.
Very true.
It's true, you know, but the best thing is to leave them alone. It's not their time yet. But especially family members, because you're such a good devotee, they will get the benefit somewhere or the other, either in this life, later in life, or in the next life. You know, they will get the benefit.
Okay, thank you.
Especially with family members, yeah.
And but you know what you say, like they think that it's man-made. Whatever is written, yeah, true.
Or that the Vedas are man-made.
Man-made, yeah.
The Vedas are man-made. So then we are not even talking about then, because I think we read a few days ago, right, that a person who does not believe in the Vedas is not civilized. We read that, Bhagavatam. Was it Bhagavatam or was it, I think Bhagavatam, that the one who's not even believing in the Vedas means is not civilized. A civilized person accepts the authority of the Vedas. So then what can we do? Don't try to argue with such people. It's not yet their time. We have been in that position at one time. We have been there, you know. But by the causeless mercy of the devotees, we are here right now trying to hear. So just let them be. If possible, if they can accept some prasad, give them some prasad, but don't try to irritate them. Rather focus the energy on someone who's willing to hear. Because, I'm sorry.
Focus our energy on someone willing to hear, as Mataji mentioned.
Yes, because it's not their time yet. The seed is already there. It will sprout later. Sometimes, some earth takes a longer time. Some soil is not so fertile. So it's not yet their time. But eventually, because you have already sown the seed, it will sprout later in life or in another life. It will happen. So, and because we want to give this Krishna consciousness to others, we should find there are many people who are waiting to hear this knowledge. We just have to find them. Guru Maharaj always says there's devotees everywhere. We just have to find them. And they are waiting to hear this. So because we are just attached to a certain certain group of people, no, these people should become devotees. I want to give them the best, and this is the best, and they're not accepting it. But it's okay. It's between them and Krishna, and it's not yet their time. Rather, let's find someone else who's waiting to hear this, who's waiting to get reconnected to Krishna.
Okay, I have to leave. Huh?
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for joining in,
Thank
Sneha.
you.
Have a great day. Happy
Thank
Ekadashi.
you.
Hare
Happy
Krishna.
Ekadashi. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, Sri Devi Mataji, did you want to add anything else? No?
Oh, no, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Okay, so we'll end here today. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shilpa Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.